And what do you think of the impact of inflation on GDP? Well, yeah, of course. It's I don't know. Oh dear. Let's find out some other ways of saying, I don't know. Of course, if you really don't know what to say, you can say, I don't know. In fact, right, many kids, when they hit their teenage years, when they become a teenager, they're very good at saying, I don't know. Or, as we say in English, dunno. What do you want for dinner? Dunno. What film would you like to see? Dunno. Right? But there are other ways of saying dunno. And when you listen to English, I think it's really important to be able to understand them. And of course, you can start practicing them too. So, by the way, my name is Keith from English Speaking Success and the website for IELTS students, the Keith Speaking Academy. In this video today, I will show you 6 other ways of saying I don't know. I'll tell you how you can use them, when you can use them, and stick around to the end of the video because I will tell you how to handle those tricky questions in an interview or an exam where you really don't know what to say. I'll tell you a really good way to handle it, and I'll give you a clue. It's not, I don't know. That's not a good answer. So stick around at the end for that. Right now, let's get into the first alternative to dunno. Right, number 1 is I'm not sure. Notice with not, it becomes not. It's a glottal stop. It's a glottal what? A glottal stop. It's what we call it, where the air, you stop the air in your throat just before the consonant. So the not becomes not. I'm not sure. That's it. Now we use this when we're tentative about something. And I mean, you've got some information, but you're not confident it's right. For example, somebody says, do you think it's going to rain today? And you say, well, I'm not sure, actually. I mean, the forecast says it might, but you never know. It's true. Do you think it's going to rain today? Number 2, I've no idea. No idea, we add a w sound because it's 2 vowels. No idea. Can you see the w? Oh, no idea. I've no idea. Nice. And this is really when you've got no information at all about something. For example, a colleague says, Oi, Keith, what time is the meeting today? Well, I've no idea, actually. I mean, you should ask Tom. He organised it. Good old Tom. I've no idea, I've no idea, can also be used, that idea of when you're bewildered. Oh, that's a nice word. Bewildered means confused, right? When you're a bit confused, for example, somebody says, Keith, what time is the meeting today? Well, don't ask me. I've no idea. I didn't organise it. Go and ask Tom. He organised it and he hasn't sent out any reminders. Next, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. You may hear sometimes people say, I haven't got a clue. Got a. Do you remember the glottal stop? Right? Got a. I haven't got a clue. You don't need to say that, of course. You can just say, I haven't got a clue. And this is used when you have complete ignorance. I mean, you don't have any information about something. I mean, if somebody asked me, I don't know, Keith, how do you say tomato in Vietnamese? I haven't got a clue. I don't speak Vietnamese, really? I think you need to ask somebody from Vietnam, or maybe somebody watching this video. Hello? Tomato? In Vietnamese? Anyone? Next. Another very similar expression meaning complete ignorance, no knowledge or ability is I'm clueless. So you could ask me, I don't know, what's the capital of Kazakhstan? I'm sorry, I'm clueless. I'm really no good at geography. So as well as having no information, it can also mean that you've got no ability in something. So often we say, oh, he's clueless, right? Don't ask him to fix your computer. Don't ask Keith to fix your computer. He's clueless about computers. He has no skill or knowledge or ability. Oi! It's probably true though. Next. And the next one is who knows? Who knows? This is often used when you're a bit frustrated with somebody or something. Do you remember Tom and that meeting, right? So somebody says, what time does that meeting start? Oh, who knows? I mean, ask Tom. I mean, Tom's clueless, right? He's not set up the meeting properly. He's not sent out a reminder. Who knows? That little feeling of frustration. Nice expression. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is quite informal. Not really slang, but informal. And it's it beats me. Or we just say beats me. If it beats me, it means it's better than me. It wins. But here it's idiomatic and just means I don't know or I don't understand, right? For example, somebody says, who is going to win the Oscar this year for Best Actor? Beats me. I'm not really interested in films, really. Okay, beats me. Or somebody might say, how did Tom, the one who can't organise meetings, how did Tom get that promotion? Oh, beats me. I mean, he can't organise people to save his life. There we go. Beats it. There you have it. 6 interesting ways to say, I don't know. So finally, imagine you're there in the interview room. You're having an interview, maybe for a job, maybe for IELTS or an English exam, and suddenly the interviewer asks you that difficult question. And what do you think of the impact of inflation on GDP? And you really don't know what to say. What you cannot do is say, dunno. You're not going to get the job, and that's not going to help if it's an IELTS test, right? So there are 2 things you can do. The first one is you ask this question. What do you mean exactly? And this is not saying you don't understand, but it's asking the examiner or the interviewer to rephrase the question or to explain a little bit. So the examiner or interviewer may say, well, how does inflation, the rise in prices, affect the economy in your country? And what this does is it gives you a second bite at the apple. It gives you a second chance because it's the same question but rephrased. It also gives you time to think, which can be really helpful, right? And then you can start speaking. If you still have nothing to say because you're clueless about economics, the second thing you do is you are honest and tell them why you don't know, right? Maybe, first of all, because if it's an English exam, the examiner is hungry for language. Don't just say, I don't know. Oh, the candidate can say, I don't know. No, they're hungry to hear anything. So just start talking. And if it's an interview for a job, at least then you're getting the interaction and the communication going, right? So you might say something like, well, to be honest, I don't know a great deal about economics, and I'm not sure really how inflation is affecting the economy overall. I'm sure it does have a big impact. And to be honest, it's something that I'm interested in. And I think after this interview, I'm going to go and find out exactly how it does impact. All of that language, the examiner in IELTS can now evaluate. Even though you're not answering the question, you're giving them great language. If it's a job interview, you're showing you're proactive, you're interested, you're a communicator, and you know how to think on your feet, how to react quickly. These are great skills you need to be showing off. So never just say, dunno, right? That's it. Listen, I hope that you have liked the video, found it useful. If you have, give me a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave me a comment. Let me know which phrase is your favourite way of saying I don't know, or any other tips and ideas you can suggest for everybody watching. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.